What if I told you that the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, has been secretly obsessed with bands that would make metalheads lose their minds?
You know, a lot of bitterness on both parts, but I've got to be truthful to you. He's one of the greatest all-time riff.
We're talking about musical crushes so intense they sparked industry feuds, backstage drama, and collaborations that nearly destroyed friendships.
Would I do it again? You bet I would. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot.
From bizarre fantasies about Beatles members marrying into his family to heated arguments with metal purists over his punk rock preferences, Ozzy's taste in music has been causing controversy for decades. There's the shocking moment he met a future Led Zeppelin frontman in a Birmingham subway that changed rock history forever. The secret songwriting sessions with Lemmy that produced some of his biggest hits. And the time he publicly praised a band so unexpected that metalheads questioned if he'd lost his mind.
How any of us survived that tour, that Motley Crue tour, God only knows, because we must have titanium livers, you know.
But here's the thing about the Prince of Darkness. His musical obsessions run deeper than anyone imagined. These aren't just casual influences. We're talking about bands that shaped his voice, his songwriting, and his entire approach to music. Some of these choices will shock you, others will make perfect sense. But all of them reveal the complex musical mind behind the madman. Today, we're counting down Ozzy's 6 favorite bands, and trust me, number 1 will completely blow your mind. 6. Green Day. Green Day at number 6? Yes, you heard that right, and the metal community absolutely lost their collective minds when this revelation surfaced. Picture this, the godfather of heavy metal, the man who helped birth the darkest genre in rock history, publicly declaring his love for a pop-punk trio from California. The backlash was immediate and brutal.
Lymphoma, and he got over that. I mean, it's just a whirlwind of emotions are going on now. I hope he told.
When Ozzy listed Green Day among his 5 favorite hard rock bands, metal purists felt like they'd been slapped in the face. Forum discussions exploded with accusations of sellout behavior and questions about whether the Prince of Darkness had finally lost his edge. Some longtime fans claimed they felt betrayed, as if Ozzy had abandoned the very movement he helped create. But here's where it gets interesting. Industry insiders suggest that Ozzy's Green Day obsession stems from something deeper than casual appreciation. Sources close to the Osbourne camp claim he was fascinated by their ability to maintain punk's rebellious spirit while achieving massive commercial success. The energy, the attitude, the middle finger to authority, it all reminded him of Black Sabbath's early days when they were just 4 working-class kids from Birmingham trying to make noise.
One of the proudest things I have in my heart is the fact that Black Sabbath wasn't a band that was created by some big
The controversy reached its peak when metal journalists started questioning whether this preference influenced Ozzy's later career decisions. Did his love for Green Day's accessibility push him toward more radio-friendly material? The debate still rages on, but one thing's certain. This choice proved that the Prince of Darkness never stopped surprising people. 5. Nirvana. The year was 1991. And 2 musical worlds were about to collide in the most unexpected way. While metal purists were busy dismissing grunge as a passing fad, Ozzy Osbourne was quietly becoming obsessed with a Seattle trio that would change rock forever. But the story of how Ozzy discovered Nirvana is shrouded in mystery and missed opportunities. According to Dave Grohl's account, Ozzy apparently met Kurt Cobain at Devonshire Studios in the San Fernando Valley, though the Prince of Darkness himself doesn't remember the encounter.
The least you can do is be sober on stage and try and give them a good show.
Picture this scene. 2 of rock's most tortured souls in the same room, yet neither fully grasping the significance of the moment. Grohl recalls how he and Kurt were completely starstruck when Ozzy walked in, muttering expletives under their breath in disbelief. Industry insiders claimed that Ozzy was initially skeptical of grunge, viewing it as a threat to metal's dominance. But something about Nirvana's raw emotional intensity spoke to him on a deeper level. The pain in Cobain's voice, the unfiltered anger, the complete rejection of rock star pretensions. It all mirrored what Black Sabbath had been doing decades earlier. The tragic irony wasn't lost on anyone. Here were two artists who understood darkness, depression, and the weight of fame. Yet they barely connected before Cobain's death in 1994. Some music historians argue that a collaboration between them could have changed the trajectory of both grunge and metal. Instead, we're left with what-ifs and Grohl's memories of a brief encounter that highlighted the strange parallel journeys of two generation-defining artists. 4. Motorhead. Behind the scenes of rock history lies one of the most explosive creative partnerships that almost never happened. When Ozzy Osbourne and Lemmy Kilmister joined forces, it wasn't just friendship. It was pure musical alchemy that would produce some of the biggest hits of the 1990s. But their collaboration was born from controversy and nearly destroyed by ego clashes.
And he comes out the door and says, "You better come with me, I'll fix you up." And I'm like, yeah.
I was on the easy.
The secret started in 1991 when Ozzy was struggling with his No More Tears album. Industry sources revealed that initial recording sessions were chaotic, with Ozzy reportedly frustrated by the lack of memorable hooks. Enter Lemmy, the whiskey-soaked wordsmith who many dismissed as just another metal madman. What happened next shocked everyone in the studio. Lemmy didn't just contribute, he practically rewrote the album's destiny. His fingerprints are all over the record's biggest moments, co-writing "Mama, I'm Coming Home," "I Don't Want to Change the World," and "Desire." The track Hellraiser was so perfectly crafted that Motorhead later recorded their own version, creating an unusual situation where both artists had hits with the same song. But here's where the drama intensifies. Allegedly, tensions arose when Ozzy's team wanted to downplay Lemmy's contributions, fearing it would diminish Ozzy's creative credibility. The situation nearly exploded until both men decided their friendship mattered more than industry politics. Their mutual respect culminated in 1992 when Ozzy appeared on Motorhead's March or Die album, delivering a haunting duet on I Ain't No Nice Guy alongside Slash. The partnership proved that sometimes the most unlikely collaborations create the most explosive results. 3. Judas Priest. This is where things get seriously twisted. Picture this shocking scenario. Rob Halford, the metal god himself, almost replaced Ozzy Osbourne not once, but twice in the last 30 years. The Birmingham Metal Brotherhood that should have been unbreakable nearly imploded over the most dramatic what-if in heavy metal history. The first near catastrophe happened during one of Black Sabbath's many internal meltdowns when band relationships were at their absolute lowest. Industry insiders whisper about secret meetings where Halford was seriously considered as Ozzy's replacement. The second opportunity arose years later during another Sabbath crisis, proving that this wasn't just idle speculation. It was a genuine possibility that terrified and excited the metal world in equal measure. But here's the beautiful irony. Despite the potential for ultimate betrayal, Ozzy's admiration for Halford never wavered. His praise is almost embarrassingly effusive, declaring that Halford can still hit the fucking notes, which is mind-blowing to me, and calling him one of my favorite fucking singers. These aren't just polite compliments between Birmingham mates. This is genuine awe from someone who knows vocal power when he hears it. The relationship between these metal titans goes beyond professional respect. They're hometown heroes who climbed out of Birmingham's industrial wasteland to conquer the world, yet they could have been the ultimate rivals. The competitive tension allegedly reached its peak during the late 70s when both bands were vying for metal supremacy. Recording studio staff reported heated phone calls between the camps, with each band trying to outdo the other's latest release. Ozzy supposedly became obsessed with matching Halford's vocal acrobatics, leading to some of his most strained and aggressive performances. The rivalry became so intense that mutual friends had to intervene to prevent a complete breakdown of their friendship. Yet beneath the competition lay genuine respect and shared struggles with fame, addiction, and the pressures of leading metal's charge into mainstream acceptance. When Judas Priest was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022, Ozzy's video message wasn't just ceremonial. It was a love letter to the man who could have stolen his legacy, but chose to forge his own path instead. 2. Led Zeppelin. The most pivotal moment in heavy metal history happened in a grimy Birmingham subway, and most people walked right past it without realizing they were witnessing the birth of a revolution. Picture young Ozzy Osbourne walking through the underground tunnels with Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler when they stumbled upon Robert Plant.
I love Robert Plant in concert singing a Led Zeppelin tune, getting a text from Ozzy. Buy more milk.
Completely unaware that this chance meeting would reshape the entire trajectory of rock music. Plant casually mentioned he'd been asked to join something called the New Yardbirds, a band that would soon become Led Zeppelin. That seemingly innocent conversation planted a seed in Ozzy's mind that would grow into an obsession. When Led Zeppelin's debut album dropped, it hit Ozzy like a freight train loaded with pure sonic dynamite. Industry veterans claim that hearing Led Zeppelin I was the exact moment Black Sabbath realized they needed to go heavier, darker, and more dangerous than anyone had ever dared. Ozzy himself admits the first two Zeppelin albums had such a massive impact on his voice and his life that they fundamentally altered his artistic DNA. The influence was so profound that it terrified him. Here was a band doing something completely acceptable to mainstream audiences while simultaneously being revolutionary. But here's the controversial part that music historians still debate. Some sources suggest Ozzy was initially intimidated by Plant's vocal range and stage presence. The fear of being overshadowed allegedly pushed him toward the darker, more theatrical approach that would define his career. 1. The Beatles. Prepare yourself for the most shocking revelation in rock history. The Prince of Darkness, the man who bit the head off a bat, the godfather of heavy metal, is completely and utterly obsessed with the Fab Four. But this isn't just casual appreciation. This is an obsession so intense it includes bizarre family fantasies and emotional breakdowns that would make his darkest songs seem cheerful. Ozzy once confessed to having fantasies about Paul McCartney marrying his sister.
It's great to me, man. It's been a lifetime ambition of mine.
Admitting to all this kind of crazy stuff and how wonderful it would be. Let that sink in for a moment. The man who terrorized parents worldwide was daydreaming about having a Beatle as a brother-in-law. The psychological implications are staggering, revealing a softer, more vulnerable side that contradicts everything we thought we knew about him. The numbers tell an even more shocking story. When Rolling Stone asked Ozzy for his 10 favorite songs of all time in 2004, half the list was Beatles-related. Not metal tracks, not Sabbath classics, Beatles songs. He selected Hey Jude, calling it, hands down, one of the greatest songs ever written, Yesterday, and A Day in the Life, which he described as taking him back to a magical time in my life. So there you have it. From Green Day's punk shock to the Beatles' ultimate obsession, Ozzy's taste proves the Prince of Darkness has always been full of surprises. Which revelation blew your mind the most? Smash that like button, drop your wildest theories in the comments, and subscribe for more explosive music secrets.